everyone, welcome back to Sham's Makeup Artistry, and in today's video I'm going to share with you guys an update of my haul. Some of the products I've already featured on my channel, sharing the haul with you guys, and some of them I've already reviewed it. But today I decided to share with you guys an update whether or not I'm still liking those products, whether they are working out for me, whether or not I have started disliking them. So let's just get into it. I have a couple of products, not many of them. Like I mentioned, some of them I've already showed you guys on my haul video. Some of them I'm still trying it out. I haven't come up with a 100% verdict. With that being said, the very first one that I'd like to share with you is the Jaclyn Hill palette from Morphe. As you guys can see, this palette is already dirty because I have been using this palette. It arrived like more than a week ago and I have started using the palette. So of course, when they come up with white shades or lighter shade palette, it tends to get dirty when you start working on them. So mine has already started doing it, so it's not a plus point for me. But the palette itself, for me, so far I have been liking it. I've been using some of the shades which I tend to lean towards, but I still have a lot of more shades for me to try out. And I expected that they had the shade names on this transparent cover. If I'm not wrong, I've seen Jaclyn Hill showing this transparent cover that has names on it. Don't quote me on that, I'm not very sure. I thought so. So it would have been more easier if we had the names on the transparent cover or even the box itself, but they do not come with names. At least mine did not come with any names on it. So I have to check out online before I do a full review on them and then share with you guys what are the shade names. But overall, so far I've been liking the shades that I've been trying. Not so much of a fan of the matte shades. I kind of feel like they tend to blend in or look like any other shades that I've tried out there. But the shimmery shades are pretty wearable, especially the purple one right here. It wears like a purple over my eye area. I kind of like that because many palettes come out with blues, purples and greens, and when you put on your eye area, especially with a deeper skin tone, they turn out to be very awful and they kind of look very muddy on my skin tone. But this one wears very beautifully on my skin tone. So I'm actually glad that they came out with a purple shade, if that does make sense to you guys. So I'm still exploring with this palette. I believe that they're going to be restocking this palette, so I'm going to share with you guys my honest thoughts on them once I get a chance to give them a very good try. The next one that I'd like to share with you guys is something that I personally have been enjoying. I've not been a fan of Ulta Beauty, like their very own cosmetic products. Of course, I shop at Ulta, different brands from Ulta, but not Ulta itself. But something definitely got me into it, but something is there about this particular palette, and it's the Melisa Michelle Ulta Beauty palette. This palette does come with eyeshadows in them, which looks like this. So this is how the palette itself looks like. Comes with 9 eyeshadow shades. It comes with an highlighter, and then it comes with a blush, and it also comes with a lip product. This is a matte liquid lipstick, but it doesn't feel matte on the lips. It wears comfortably on the lips. Very much my favorite shade. I kind of wear it with my very favorite lip liner from Sephora, so I'm actually wearing them on my lip area now. And the lip shade is Candy, so I kind of really like this one. And I personally like this eyeshadow palette. I personally felt that for an Ulta brand, this palette is a very wearable palette, and it's only $20, so it's an affordable palette. So if you're on a hunt to look out for an affordable palette which has everything in it, like a blush, eyeshadow, highlighter, and also a lip product, definitely check out the Melisa Michelle palette. I'm actually wearing some of them over my face area today. The highlight that I have on is this highlighter right here. I do have the blush I do have a couple of the eyeshadow shades. Of course, I use something else over my lid area, but I do have some of the blending shades on my eye area. I personally reach out for this particular palette almost every day because it's so versatile for an everyday kind of look. The next one that I'm going to share with you is a foundation, and it's the Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude Water Fresh Makeup Foundation. This foundation, I've already reviewed them on my channel. I personally would say that this is a must-have because if you tend to have more of like a dehydrated skin, like a combination to a dry skin, you definitely want to check this out. This foundation, of course, if you're looking out for something that would give you a full coverage, this cannot be it. But if you are looking for something very natural on the go, like I'm actually wearing this particular foundation right now, I kind of feel like the coverage that this foundation gives, for me personally, I really like it. Like, I kind of feel like it still gives me the coverage that I personally need. If you're looking out for something that gives you a natural kind of look, at the same time you want to wear them for a long hour and it doesn't slide away from your skin, definitely check out the Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude Water Fresh Makeup. Up next is another foundation, and it's the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Long Wear Foundation. I do have 2 reviews on my channel. I'll definitely link them down on the description bar below. So finally, I picked out the shade 5N1 Pecan for myself. So this is more of like a full coverage foundation. A little goes a long way. You definitely do not want to keep packing it on because you'll end up looking really cakey, and it does have yellow undertone to it. So I personally am not like a 100% fan of it. It does give me a flawless look. As it is right now, my skin is a little bit more clear, so whatever foundation that I put on, it does give me like a flawless look. With this one, if you do have like an oily skin, it will be looking very beautiful on you. But if you tend to have more of a dry skin, I would personally say you might want to skip this foundation. When I reviewed this foundation, my skin was a little bit more oilier, so it worked out for my skin. But when my skin right now is more on the drier side, I don't really prefer to use this foundation because I kind of felt like it does emphasize on some of the dryness over my face area. So for me, this is like 80% must have. The other 20% I might just skip it. I don't want to make it like a 50% because I do like this foundation on the days that my skin is a little bit more oily. So I'm making it 80%, so the dislike is only 20% when my skin is dry. I do not like this foundation. The next one is the Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. So this one, for me, I personally would say that if you do have a dry skin, like a combination to dry skin, this may be a try for you. But if you have oily skin, you definitely need to skip on this foundation because this foundation tends to get oily as the hours pass by and you have to keep blotting your skin. Even on my drier type of skin, it tends to get oily. So I would personally say skip this if you have oily skin. If you have combination to dry skin, you may want to try this. I would not say that this is a favorite foundation of mine. I kind of felt that there are many other drugstore foundation that can be my favorite, like the L'Oreal Lumi foundation, and also the Maybelline foundation can be my favorite, but this one is not in the list of top 10 favorites from drugstore for me. The next update would be on the Kevyn Aucoin. This is their contour book volume 2. So this contour book does come with like a module on the front which you can use them as a guide, and it also comes with a mirror on the inside, and there are 2 contour shades, which is one of it is in the cream version, the other one is in the powder version, and then it also comes with their candlelight cream highlighter, and then is the powder highlighter. And then right below here there are eyeshadows that you can use more like an everyday kind of neutral look. For me, this palette, I would not say it's a must-have palette because being my skin tone, to find the exact contour shade, it's really difficult. In the powder version is easy, But in the cream version, I've tried quite a number of them, but they all tend to look muddy on me. That's the only reason I tend to skip contouring my face. I just use a bronzer to contour my face. And this cream, neither did it work out for me, and also the powder contour, I kind of felt like it was too light on my skin tone. Sadly, the formula of it is amazing, but the shade of it did not match my skin tone. The highlight, however, matches my skin tone perfectly. I of course like the Candlelight powder. I do have a separate highlighter of itself, and the eyeshadows right here are truly wearable. They are so wearable for an everyday kind of look. I do find they are very well made, but I personally felt that since the sculpting side doesn't work out for me, I can just purchase the Kevyn Aucoin eyeshadows separately. They do have them. At the same time, I can just get my Candlelight powder separately as well. So for me, this palette, personally for my skin tone, is not like a must have. Moving on to another highlight palette from Huda Beauty, and this is their 3D highlighter palette. I do have a review of this. Personally, I do like this highlighter palette, but I do not see myself reaching out for it because I do have tons of highlighter in my vanity. I kind of feel like these are similarly wearable with any of my highlighters. So I personally would say if you are not an highlight kind of person, you may want to skip this because I do not see myself reaching out for it too often. I kind of felt like it's a total waste getting 4 shades and then it's just slipping in your vanity. You can just get 1 shade and then use it all the time. So when it's a palette, not all of us tend to reach out for it very quickly. That's what I personally felt, though it's a beautiful palette. Lastly, I do have 3 lip products to share with you guys. The very first one that I tried out is from MAC, and this is their Retro Matte Liquid Lip Color in the shade Topped with Brandy. I really like the formula of MAC matte lipsticks. They do not dry up the lips, and I really like how they wear on the lips, and this shade is a beautiful shade. So I would personally recommend you guys trying out their matte formulas because they do wear pretty well on the lips, and this one does wear pretty similar to Lolita by Kat Von D, and this is how, again, Topped by Brandy looks like. So I would personally recommend this one. This is like a very recent purchase, so I wanted to update you guys on this one. The other one is something that I hauled the other day. It's the Lancome Matte Shaker in Pink Power. This is another formula that I would personally recommend to you guys if you want something matte, but at the same time you do not want them to dry up your lips. So this is another one that you guys should check out, and this is in the shade Pink Power. This wear so well on the lips and I've been enjoying this, so I have no complaints on the lip products that I've selected lately. And the last one that I'd like to share with you is from Hourglass, and I personally did not want to get this particular lip product. I kind of felt like I have too many, but somehow I got into trying one of the shade, and I must say that I'll definitely be picking out the very same kind of formulas from Hourglass, and it's their Confession Ultra Slim High Intensity Refillable Lipstick in the shade I'm Addicted. And this particular lip stuff is refillable, so I'm happy about that. You do not need to keep getting a new one. You just have to refill them once you're done with it. Look at the packaging itself. It looks like a pen, but it's a beautiful sleek packaging, and this lipsticks wear so beautifully on the lips, and I am totally in love with it. On the inside, this is how it looks like. You can see the shade is on the tip right here, I'm Addicted, and this is how the shade itself looks like. So this is more of like another mauvey shade that I've been enjoying. Definitely looks more pink when I'm swatching it. But on the lips, I tend to make it look more mauvey because I use my favorite lip liner. So those were my updates on the haul products that I picked out, and some of them were of course sent to me for PR purposes, so I'm sharing my honest thought with you guys. I do have a couple of them which I'm still trying out, which I'll still be sharing my update with you guys. Till my very next one, stay beautiful both inside and out. Give me a thumbs up, share all your love and support, and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye.